And then finally, we're going to talk about just things I wish I knew before buying my first home. So for instance, for me, I would have gotten more. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do so. That's how you help the channel grow. And also, if you're looking to purchase or sell a property in DC or Maryland, I'm your guy. My contact information will be in the description down below. Inspections done. I got the basic, two basic inspections, like the structural and the wood destroying insect. But maybe I would have done a septic inspection, would have done a roof. Thankfully, none of those, like the roof hasn't caved in on me, no leaks or anything, but it's just something I would recommend. Also, the HVAC unit, just some more inspections. That's just my personal experience. Then generally, I would say most first-time home buyers don't realize how many hidden layers there are to home ownership until after they've signed. So also the windows, right? You know, windows, insulation, just things that are going to affect your monthly energy cost. They wish they knew before buying their first house. I'll also say closing costs, for instance. I was just told about 3.5% down payment. Thankfully, I had that extra 4 to 5% for closing costs, but literally I didn't factor that in when I went into looking for a house. It was when they brought the bill, I was like, wow, this is a lot. But then when you pay all of that, then you find out only a small fraction of that went towards your mortgage. It can be a gut punch, you know? Right away, the monthly payment is only part of the real cost. Your mortgage might be predictable, but taxes, insurance, and maintenance aren't. Property taxes can change, insurance can jump after a year, and maintenance is constant. Roof issues, HVAC, servicing, plumbing, surprises, lawn care. A good rule of thumb is budgeting 1 to 3% of the home's value per year just for upkeep, right? A second surprise is how fast small repairs can add up. A leaky faucet become a plumbing visit. A minor roof fix can turn into thousands. A rental property, on the other hand, you don't have to worry about these things. You call someone in the house, but when you own the house, you're that someone. You're the one paying for them, right? So I'll also say, if you can get some home warranties, they have these like maintenance insurance things where you pay monthly. So if you got any major repairs that needs to get done, they can service it for you. Another thing people underestimate is how much cash you can still need after closing. Even if you escape, you know, all the other down payments and you're able to scrape all that money, when you think about it, many buyers move into a house cash poor, you know, house poor. They got the house, but now they don't have the cash without realizing it. So inspection results also matter more than emotions. Almost every house has issues. The key difference is whether they're cosmetic or structural. New buyers often fall in love with the property first and rationalize problems later. But the inspection is where reality shows up. I think I fell into that trap. I wanted the house, I liked the yard, and I saw certain red flags with the as-is sale, and I went ahead with the purchase. If I were to do it again, I probably would have gotten a brand new house or something close to it, where every year it seems like I'm doing a major repair, right? I knew what I was getting into, but I didn't really know what I was getting into, if that makes sense. So there are also lifestyle trade-offs. Owning a home ties you to a location and responsibility. Want to move cities or switch jobs quickly? That becomes harder when you're thinking about selling, timing, equity, and market conditions. Financing is another blind spot, right? Your approval amount is not the same as what you should spend. Lenders often approve more than is comfortable. The approved number assumes ideal conditions, not real life stresses, emergencies, or lifestyle costs. So if you just, that's self-explanatory. You got family emergencies, lifestyle costs. You need just a cushion. So one thing I would say I'm thankful for is I never wanted to keep up with the Joneses. Just on a personal level, I could have gotten way more of a house than I got, but I knew I wanted some cash just for business, savings, and things of that nature. So I got a house that I think my mortgage is very, very affordable. When I look at people who I help to rent properties, I'm just amazed that, wow, you paying that much? I'm paying $6, $7, $8, sometimes $900 less than you're paying, and I own a house and you're renting for the same amount of rooms, you know? So if you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and you want to get this massive house, you know, hey, eventually we all will get our forever home, right? It depends on your financial situation. But even then, to me personally, it doesn't make sense when you buy a house and you're spending all your money. You know, it's like then you get a raise, you want to upgrade your living. Sometimes just let the money sit and incubate for a little bit, right? Don't just, let's say you get a new job and you go get a bigger house or a newer car. Sometimes you let the money sit, accumulate, then you make a move comfortably. Finally, appreciation is not guaranteed in the short term. People often expect home values to always go up, but real estate moves in cycles. If you need to sell within a few years, market timing can matter more than you expect, you know? So thankfully, I haven't had to sell, but you're looking at Zillow, I look at the appreciation value. I thank God when I purchased my house years ago, it has appreciated in value. But what if that was not the case and I had to sell or I had to move? I know people who are going through foreclosure, you know, close to foreclosure. Let's say they fell behind on their rent and they're trying to get out of the house, but they're not getting what they thought they would get, especially in this market. It's no longer a seller's market. So those are things you need to watch out for.
Ultimate hub for real estate insights, breaking news, entrepreneurial wisdom, investing strategies, and self-development hacks. If you're ready to expand your mind and stay ahead of the game floor, you're in the right place. Subscribe now. Your future self will thank you.